Hey Team Ted Fitness, welcome to your Facebook training. So I'm going to just get right into it, and basically I have 7 topics to cover. So I highly suggest you go ahead and get a pen and pencil, or whatever you want to write with, a notebook, get some water, find a good spot to sit, and just focus on what I'm going to try to tell you over the next, hopefully this won't be too long, with the next minutes or half hour or so. Okay. So, your Facebook, right, is a great way to connect with people, a great way to get your brand out there. It's really wonderful because you can connect with people from all over the country, people who you would otherwise have no contact with. So it's a nice way to help complete strangers that you wouldn't be able to meet otherwise, and potentially find people who are really looking for what you have to offer. But to really make the most out of your Facebook and to maximize the amount of connections you get and the relationships that you build with people, I think there are some pointers that I will obviously try to provide you with to really help you get the most out of your Facebook experience. So I'm just going to kind of break it down by different areas and different concepts as far as they relate to your Facebook page. So first and foremost, your cover photo. If you've watched my Instagram training already, you'll sort of get a sense of what I mean by the word brand, but if you haven't, what your brand is basically what you represent. So it's the topics that you're interested in, the message that you send, the lifestyle that you share, and just what your overall message is to the world. Whether it's, it's important to find a balance in life, or nutrition is the number one thing for everything, or, you're about, holistic living, or whatever your topics are of interest to you, and sort of what your overall theme is for your personality and with the message that you want to convey to your followers, that is your brand. And your cover photo is an excellent way to sort of give an overview of what your brand is. For instance, if you're really into fitness, nutrition, and your family, it'd be nice for your cover photo to sort of display those things, show some sort of fitness-related component, nutrition, and your family, and obviously put your name out there, put your website address. If your Facebook isn't your primary sort of landing page or go-to page, if your blog is, or your YouTube channel, that's a great place to display your URL for that. But it's just a nice way to get people who can come to your page who've never talked to you before or don't know you personally, to just get a sense of what your personality is, what your message is, what the tone of your page and your business is. Now the key thing here is not to make it cluttered or messy or dark. You want it to be bright and inviting and invigorating, and something that when people look at, oh man, she looks happy, or her family looks happy, or she's really fit, or he's really fit, you want it to be engaging and inviting, and simple, but able to sort of convey what your overall tone is and what your overall message is. Now, as far as your actual posts, so having done several trainings and listened to many social media marketing gurus and such, what I find, and also from my own personal experience of having run a business Facebook page and having had a personal page for many years, it's good to be a regular, consistent poster, and the frequency that seems to work best is probably about 3 to 5 times per day. And it's really the same reason that, again, if you watch my Instagram training, I said there, you want to post frequently enough that you're not getting lost, because odds are people who follow your page, whether it's your like page or your personal page, have other friends, follow other businesses, and even with the algorithms that Facebook uses now, if you're not connecting with people a lot, your stuff's not coming up their feed. So if you only post once a day, or say once every 3 days, people are not going to see your post. It doesn't matter how wonderful your content is, or how awesome your post is, or if you're giving away $1 million, nobody sees it. It's not helping anyone, right? So you want to post enough to be seen. But on the flip side, you don't want to post so frequently that you're the only thing coming up on people's newsfeed. If they're logging into Facebook and they have like 12 things from you, they're going to get annoyed, or they're going to get bored, or they're going to think it's a lot of the same material over and over again, and that's not what you want either. You don't want to harass people. You want to find a happy medium between being present but not being overwhelming. And 3 to 5 times a day seems to work for that. So the other aspect of that is to make sure that you're not posting the same thing every single time, and that there's some variety to your topics, because variety is the spice of life. And same goes for your business. Really, you can't, even if you're really into just fitness and that's your brand, you can't be posting the exact same type of posts every single time unless you're really trying to be that specific with your brand and your niche. And that's all people really want from you is just the workouts or just the supplement information and nothing else. That's one thing. But if you're trying to be a wholesome concept and a wholesome brand, and often as a Beachbody coach you want to be more than just a one single concept business, it's good to have a variety of topics. Now, you don't have to have a billion topics. It's actually best to focus in on, say, 5 to 10 that you're the most passionate about, or you're the most informed about, or you feel like you're an expert in, or it's something that really gets you excited, or something you really want to learn about more, or just something that you are regularly interacting with. So for instance, some of my topics that I like to focus in on, I love motivational and inspirational things. I love personal development. You know, reading books is a huge thing for me now, so I like sharing that. I love fitness, so obviously sharing my workouts, sharing free workouts I find, going to attend free live workouts. Nutrition is a big one, so sharing recipes that I find, sharing recipes that I try or make, just sharing ideas for snacks, things like that. I love nerdy things. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm a Marvel fan. I love Lord of the Rings. I love all that nonsense. So I like sharing that. I like sharing my nerdy side. And I love animals. Anything that's furry with 4 legs, I squeal over. So I like sharing those things. And, I don't share the exact same thing in the exact same order every single day, or cover every single one of those every single day. But I like having that pool of things that I can draw off of, so I can kind of structure my week and see, okay, well, I posted 3 things about nutrition in a row. My next post probably should have something to do with something else. Because people are going to get sick of the topics, or they want to see your personality, and by sharing the things you're passionate about or sharing the things you're an expert in, it helps give them that variety, and it helps you to be more genuine and you to show more facets of yourself and your personality. And that's what people are going to attach to. That's what people are going to make a connection with. So focus in on a few topics that you're really interested in or you're really passionate about, and post about those 3 to 5 times a day, and let people connect with you over those. So as far as your profile picture, sort of going back to the look of your profile, make it appropriate. You're an adult, you're a business owner, you're not a hoochie mama, you're not a 21-year-old girl trying to be scandalous. Just make it nice, make it your face, make it pretty. I'm not saying you have to look like a model or something, but make it you, make it recognizable, make it obvious to people who come to your profile page that this is who they're talking to, this is who they're interacting with, that's the person, not a group of people, not some things in the background where you're like a speck in there. Like, make it clear this is you, this is what you look like, you're inviting, you're friendly, and you're happy that they're there. That's what you want your profile picture to convey, okay? If you can invest in getting some professional headshots, that's awesome, but it's not required. Even a nice holiday photo or just a nice picture of you looking like yourself and looking put together can go a long way. Another option is showing your before and after photo, sort of a side-by-side panel of a before and after shot. Now, if you've had some dramatic weight loss, maybe that's something you're really proud of, you can do that. It has its pros and cons to using progress pictures. For some people, they're going to be huge. They're going to be very inviting and very exciting because they're like, oh man, like you made a major transformation. Like, I want to know everything you did and how you did it. Just, I want all your knowledge. But some people might find it intimidating. If your picture is just of you flexing and showing off your muscles or something, they might find that intimidating, especially if they're really far off from that and they're sort of on that edge of just making that choice for themselves to start getting healthy. If you're looking like the gun show and you're like, to some people that might be a turnoff, that might be discouraging, that won't be inviting. So again, it's something that you need to think about, and it's going to relate to who you're trying to target, who who you want to interact with, what kind of people you're trying to attract to your brand. And it's something, you can do trial and error with it. You can try it out for a little while, see what kind of response you get. Try just a headshot for a while, see what kind of response you get, and try to gauge what kind of feedback you're getting and what kind of interactions you're getting depending on what your profile actually looks like. Okay? So as far as your actual interactions, your page is there to communicate. Yes, you have ideas to share. Yes, you have value you're trying to give. You have information you want to put out to your followers. But you want to engage people. You want to get conversations going. You want to build relationships. And to do that, you need to post things that get people to post back, or get people to share, or get people to like. So some ways to do that is to get people talking about themselves. People love talking about themselves. So you ask opinions, do a survey, ask a question. It can be as simple as, what's for dinner tonight? Ask for votes. Oh, I'm thinking about this pair of shoes and this pair of shoes. What do you guys think? Give me your vote. Or I'm thinking of either getting an iPhone or the next Samsung Galaxy. Which one would you guys suggest? Get people's opinions. People want to talk about themselves, their experiences, and things that are important to them in their life. So it's good to invite them to talk. And you should be open to whatever their responses are, even if you don't really care, or if you're not going to go in whatever direction they're trying to get you to go. Just get people talking and responding. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it gets you to build relationships with them because you're having a back and forth conversation, so that's good. But it also tells Facebook that you're interacting with these people, and therefore your stuff, your posts, need to be coming up in their newsfeed because there's a relationship between you two. Because if you're friends with somebody on Facebook, or they follow your page, but they never go to it, they never like anything, Facebook is not going to put your post in their newsfeed. And you need to appear in their newsfeed because, again, your content can be amazing, but if it's not coming up in a newsfeed, it doesn't matter. And people aren't going to go to every single page or every single person they like or talk to on Facebook unless it comes up in their newsfeed. Usually, you log in, whatever is in that window, maybe you scroll down a little bit, that's what you're seeing. And if you log in maybe once or twice a day, you're not going to see a whole lot. So you need to make sure you're appearing in that newsfeed. So the way to do that is get people talking on your page, get people liking your stuff, get people commenting, comment back, tag them in your comments. Say, hey, thanks, Aileen. Tag them, so make sure it appears on their Facebook that they're being tagged and responded to, so it might appear in their friends' feed that they're being talked to on this conversation thread. You see what I'm talking about? You want that interaction. You want Facebook to see that interaction because it's going to bump up your posts and make them appear in their newsfeed, and that's so crucial. Okay, so other than those kinds of things, giveaways are great. The share this, if we hit X amount of likes, I'll give away a free Shakeology sample and a workout something or other. Do giveaways, do contests. Every single person that shares, comments, and likes will get a chance to win this raffle prize or a free workout session, or something where it doesn't have to be worth a lot to you as far as how much money you spend on something. It can be something fun and goofy. But people love giveaways, people love free stuff, and if it's as easy as them sharing your page, or liking a post, or commenting, or giving an opinion, or guessing or something, it takes very little effort for them, but again, it bumps up your interaction with these people, and therefore your placement in their newsfeed, and possibly in the newsfeeds of their friends and colleagues, which continues to give you more exposure, which is really what you want. And make sure when you're interacting with people, the focus is on them. It's not on your opinion or your stance or you. It should always be about them and what they're saying, what they're experiencing, what they're interested in, what they're asking about. It needs to be about them. So one of the big sayings that you often hear in these trainings, which I think is so valid and so essential to hear, so I want to say it here. You want to be interested, not interesting, because that means it's about them and you're focusing on what this person needs or wants instead of what you need or want. Because as a service provider, as a provider of value, you can only do that if you're doing what's right for that person or what is necessary for that person, okay? So there's also the idea, of whether a like page or personal page is better. I find that there's no clear-cut answer with this, For some people, a personal page works great. For some people, a like page works great. I think it really depends on how you're using it and what kind of response you're getting. I mean, the nice thing is a like page is much more targeted, and you can kind of, if you want to talk just fitness and nutrition, you can do that because that's what your like page is. It's just about those topics. And the people who are liking it and coming to that page are already making that decision that this is what they want from you and this is the information that they're choosing to follow. Well, on your personal page, you're connected to everyone, right? Like your friends from high school, from college, your family, coworkers, whatever, all these people who might not necessarily care about a lot of this stuff. So you might need to be a bit more variable with what you talk about and the types of topics you cover. But it's really up to you. If you feel more comfortable on a personal page and just sharing your story and journey and just being really open about your life, then maybe a personal page is what you should stick to. But if you really want to be much more targeted and sort of organized in a way and more business-like in some sense, I think a like page is the way to go. Now, this might not be something you have to worry about right away, but one of the biggest advantages a like page has over your personal page is, aside from just the amount of control you have over a like page and what gets posted and who can post and such, there's no limit on how many likes you can have, but you can only have 5,000 friends. Now, only 5,000 friends, right? Like, that's a lot of people. But I know plenty of coaches who hit that max and all of a sudden, now what? I can't add any more people. But a like page lets you just keep adding. You can have hundreds of thousands of people that you're connected with. So it's kind of nice that there's no cap on that. And again, there's more predictability that comes with your like page because people know what they're signing up for when they like your page. That's called Vegan Fit Mom 101. You know, like, they know what they're getting there. While with your personal page, it's not as clear. On the other hand, a personal page, just innately because it's a personal page, has a more of a personal touch. People might prefer to connect with a person over a brand. It might make it easier to make that initial relationship. So that's something to consider too. Now, the only downside to a personal page, and it's just something to keep in mind depending on how long you've been on Facebook and what you've already posted, you know, for those of us who've had Facebook for a really long time, maybe at some point in your life you were going out drinking, partying, smoking, whatever, and you got all that stuff on Facebook. So if somebody was to scroll through your pictures a little bit, they might see some scandalous images or some, you know, sketchy nights out. And if you're trying to be a promoter of a certain lifestyle or, you know, suggesting certain behaviors and people, and opening yourself up to judgment, really, if those things are readily available and visible in your Facebook, it might turn a lot of people off. It might give people a bad taste in their mouth. It might just cause them to misjudge you. Now, it's one thing if you're very clearly open about your past and you're showing your growth or your changes or things you've learned, that's one thing. But when those things are just there and now you're all like, oh, I love eating healthy, fitness is awesome, and then, like, you know, they can scroll back 2 months and you were like binge eating and doing crap, and that's the same time you're posting this stuff, like, there's a disconnect there that people won't appreciate. So, I mean, the nice thing is you can easily go back through your Facebook and just delete all that crap. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're going to strictly use your personal page. So as far as finding people, now, the beautiful thing about things like Twitter and Instagram is you have hashtags, you use a search, and you just find a ton of posts, you can follow a ton of people. It's not as easy on Facebook. And while on things like Instagram and Twitter, it's really easy to just follow everybody, stranger or not. There's no weirdness about it. On Facebook, friending people unexpectedly is still a little weird and a little sketchy. So the best way to really go about finding people is find pages you like and find groups you like. So again, go back to those 5 or 10 topics that you're passionate about and search them out on Facebook. Find groups, find pages that you can connect to, and then make friends with people on there. And I don't mean just go through their list and like every single one or friend everyone, but get to talking on the topics. I mean, you're passionate about them, you love these things, so you should be easy for you to just genuinely talk about them. And then, you know, connect with people like you naturally would. And then make friends with them once you've been talking a little bit back and forth. Or say, oh, hey, you know, I'd be happy to send you this blah, blah, blah if you want to just friend me on Facebook. So that's a great place to just build those relationships. Now, fair warning, Facebook does not like people to spam and does not want to think that you're a robot, so you will get blocked or you'll go to Facebook jail if you're like trying to friend request a billion people every single day. So try to limit it to about 2 to 3 people per day, so don't go crazy with it. But 2 to 3 people is perfectly good for this business. That's as long as, especially if they're natural relationship building friendships that are emerging. That's awesome. 2 to 3 per day is perfect. But get out there, use your interests to find other people who are interested in those and see who you can connect with and add them to your Facebook network. Okay? So as far as some quick do's and don'ts, you do want to post good content and you want to post consistently and regularly. So you want quality posts of interesting, valuable material. Generally, with the algorithms that Facebook has, at least last time I heard, images still do better than just a single bunch of text. So status is not going to get as far, especially on the like page, as anything associated with an image. So even if you have a great post, it's great to include some kind of relevant image, which honestly, between Google Images and your own imagination, it shouldn't be too hard to find an image to pair up with whatever you have to say. Sharing. You want to get shared. You want your material to get shared because it spreads. You don't want to share other people's stuff because you're spreading their stuff. So if you share something on your newsfeed of your like page, it's probably not going to come up in anyone's newsfeed, but it's helping the person whose page you shared. So the easiest thing to do is you find something you really like, copy it and post it fresh yourself, or do your own version of it. If it's a quote on a picture, write that quote on one of your pictures and post that. Make it original content, because then people will share your content and help you spread. As far as tagging, like I said, if you're commenting on somebody's post or somebody's comment on your post, make sure you tag them in it. That's what you want to do. Also good to tag, like I like to tag programs that I'm posting about, like P90X or T25 or whatever, or Shakeology. Post them and tag them in your posts or pictures, because that helps you spread. Don't spam. Just don't harass people. Don't buy Shakeology for me, buy Shakeology for me, buy P90X for me, buy Twitter for, just share your knowledge, share your experience, share your journey, share your results, but don't harass and don't spam, because nobody likes a spammer. Nobody. And as far as the last topic, advertising. If you have a Facebook like page, you can buy ads. And Facebook will let you tailor the criteria you use as far as who you're going to target with that ad by age, gender, specific interest, location, a whole lot of variables. And there's a range of money you can pay, and you dictate how long the ad goes, and how much you spend per day, and then Facebook will tell you roughly how many people you'll reach per day and overall with whatever your ad is. We've had luck with using ads. You don't get a huge jump, but even a handful of people is great, especially if they're targeted people. They're the people you want coming to your page. And they're also choosing to like your page as opposed to being a friend or family member that you harassed into liking your page. But I wouldn't get too crazy with investing in them unless you feel like you're gonna get a return on that investment. So you could spend $300 a month on ads, but if you get one person like your page from that, and you're not bringing any money, probably not worth your time. So you can get pretty far by just making relationships and interacting with people, interacting with pages. And ads are something you can try out. Try it for just a few bucks for a couple days or a week. Usually a week to a month is a good period of time to give yourself. You can do it for like $1 a day. So you could try it out, see how well you do, and see how many likes you get from it, and then always tailor it to change your criteria or how much you're spending depending on how much business you're bringing in. Okay, so that's kind of Facebook in a nutshell. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it gave you some ideas on how to use your personal page or how to use a like page to meet new people and grow your brand, grow relationships, and just get yourself out there networking with people and building your business up, whether it's Beachbody coaching or really anything else you want to do or any other interests you have. Alright, so if you have any questions, please feel free to post below this video, or you can always reach me at facebook.com/teamtedfitness or at teamtedfitness@gmail.com, and I will be happy to help in whatever way I can. So I hope this was useful. I will see you next time.